Okay, this video is only for those who did not finish their exotic pets pro-con essay, or if you got a low score on that and would like to redo it for a better score. Okay, here's the prompt again. After analyzing the two texts, Wild Animals Aren't Pets and Let People Own Exotic Pets, identify some of the key pros and cons of both sides of the argument supported in each article. After identifying the primary positives and negatives of each side, cite textual evidence to explain how each side could be correct. How do you feel personally and why? Okay, so I'm going to unpack this prompt by using run. I'm going to read the prompt, and then I'm going to reread it. Then I'm going to underline the verbs and any other key words. And then I'm going to rewrite the prompt in my own words. Okay, so I just read it and I'm going to reread it. After analyzing the two texts, Wild Animals Aren't Pets and Let People Own Exotic Pets, identify some of the key pros and cons of both sides of the argument supported in each article. After identifying the primary positives and negatives of each side, cite textual evidence to explain how each side could be correct. How do you feel personally and why? Now I'm going to underline the verbs and any other key words here. So I'm going to identify, that's a verb, the pros and cons. Identify the pros and cons of both sides of the argument. After identifying the pros and cons, cite text evidence to explain how each side could be correct. And then how do you feel personally and why? So in my own words, I'm going to identify the pros and cons of the two arguments, then share my own opinion. Okay, and those two arguments are about exotic pets. Okay, identify the pros and cons of the two arguments. Okay, you're just analyzing those two arguments. What are the good things and the bad things about each argument? And then I'm going to share my own opinion. Okay, so paragraph 1 should be your introduction. Sentence 1 should be a hook. You could start with a quote from the book or a question, such as, have you ever thought about people who own exotic pets? Or do you think owning exotic pets is safe or a good idea? Then a background sentence. You're going to put in 2 sentences about each of the arguments that we read. Okay, what were these articles that we read about? We read 2 articles about owning exotic pets and whether that should be allowed or not. And then here's your thesis. There are pros and cons to both sides of these arguments. Paragraph 2, you're going to analyze the first argument. Give me the pros and the cons of that first argument. Okay, so the first article argues that what? Wild animals should not be pets. Okay, one pro of banning exotic pets would be what? What would be a good thing about banning exotic pets? And then give me a quote. You can use the video from April 9th on the YouTube channel. And then explain that quote. This shows that what? Why is this quote important? What does this show me? Don't be repetitive. Okay, and then the next 8. One con of banning exotic pets would be, what would be a negative of banning exotic pets, of saying no more exotic pets for anybody? What would be the negative or the bad thing about that? Use a quote from the second article, April 15th. Okay, the second article. And then this quote shows that what? Okay, paragraph 3. This one, she argues that we should let people own exotic pets. Okay, the second article argues that people should be allowed to own exotic pets. Okay, the first A, one pro, one good thing of letting people own exotic pets would be what? Why would that be a good thing? What would be good about that? Okay, use a quote from that article. It's on the video from April 15th. And then explain the quote. Okay, and then one con of letting people own exotic pets would be, what would be a bad thing or a negative of allowing people to own exotic pets? Okay, in class we said that they could hurt people, the owners are irresponsible, they could get out. Okay, use a quote from the first article from the video on April 9th, and this quote shows that. Okay, paragraph 4 is a short one. You're just going to share your opinion. I personally think that what? Okay, that the animal should be banned or they should be allowed. Okay, use a quote, and then this quote shows that. And then you'll wrap it all up, paragraph 5, with a conclusion. And in conclusion, restate your thesis and wrap up your final thoughts. Okay, so again, if you're looking for those for the quotes, here's April 9th, here's April 15th. Okay, you could use those videos for the quotes. Okay, so this is your homework for the weekend if you haven't finished your essay yet. I want this essay done. It's a project grade. And I know that you can do it. I know that you can do it. All right, and I'll see you on Monday.